All right, let's talk about assets. So when I am talking about assets, I'm referencing accounts, cash, liquid funds that will be used for your cash to close or for your reserves if they're needed for your particular scenario. So there are lots of different types of assets that are absolutely acceptable for a home purchase. So checking savings, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, retirement savings, CDs, proceeds from sale of real estate, even sale of personal property. So if you have a vehicle that you are wanting to sell or needing to sell for your down payment, that is absolutely usable. What we will need in that instance is proof that you own said vehicle, said asset, a copy of the bill of sale, notification or just documentation of the appraised value of the personal property. So Kelley Blue Book value if it's a vehicle. eBay can be used as documentation of value. If you had it appraised recently, that can be used as documentation of value. And then we'll need a copy of the check from the buyer. It needs to be a check. Do not have your buyer pay you in cash if you are selling personal property for the purposes of purchasing a home. So make sure that you are doing things in a way that is easy to paper trail and document. Otherwise, we may not be able to use those funds for your home purchase. If you are getting a gift from family, that is absolutely doable. Typically, we can only use gifts from family on purchases of a first or second home, but there are instances in certain loan products that will allow for gifts on an investment property. You will need to make sure that the loan product you are approved for is permitting gift funds on an investment property if that's something that you're doing. So just make sure that you talk to your loan officer about that before pursuing any kind of gift funds on an investment property purchase. Typically these will need to be from a blood relative, family member, or someone with a documented vested interest in you, such as a mentor, close family friend, something like that. Usually we will need a copy of their bank statement showing that they own the funds and that they are in their account with no weird large deposits. And then we'll get a gift letter that they will sign and you will sign, stating the relationship between you, their contact information, the amount of the gift, and their banking information. This is all needed because post 9/11, the government just needed to make sure that funds used for real estate weren't being laundered for illegal purposes, terrorism, things like that. So it may seem like a hassle and like, why do I need that? Grandma wants to give me the money. Well, we just have to do it for government purposes to make sure that nefarious people aren't doing bad things and laundering money into the real estate market to clean it from their illegal activities. So we know that you're not doing that, but that's why the rule exists and that is why we need to do it. So what can't be used? So we get asked more often than you might think, can I use my credit cards for my cash to close? The answer is always no. You cannot use funds from unsecured debt for a home purchase. You cannot use cash or what we call mattress money. So if you've got $50,000 sitting in your safe at home, we can't use that. You need to have deposited that in your account. It needs to be what we call seasoned funds. So basically it just sits in there long enough that we don't see it on your bank statements anymore. And then if you sell personal property and you don't document it, we can't use that either. There are certain thresholds of deposits that we don't question, we're not worried about. That will depend on your individual scenario. Sometimes it's based on your amount of income, sometimes it's based on a percentage of the purchase price of the property you're buying. So make sure you've talked to your loan officer about any potential large deposits and talk to them before you place any monies into your account to make sure that everything will be clean and easy and they know what to request from you and what to have you do. My name is Jessie and I am a mortgage loan officer. My goal through these videos is to help educate you about the home buying process and answer questions that you didn't even know you had about financing a home.